Every morning, the woman in apartment 3B knocked on her own door. She did this carefully. 3 soft taps, then 2 harder ones. Then she waited. Sometimes the door opened right away. When it didn't, she'd nod to herself, write something in a small notebook, and go down the stairs whistling. The neighbors noticed, of course. "Forgot your keys again?" the man in 3A asked one day. She just smiled politely. "No, just checking." He pressed, "Checking what?" She looked him in the eye and said, "That I'm still home." He laughed, because a joke is always easier than a question, and he never mentioned it again. Every evening, the woman returned, sometimes with groceries, sometimes with library books, sometimes with nothing at all. She would cook simple meals and set 2 places at her small table, though she always ate alone. Later, she would read aloud in the living room, pausing now and then, as if waiting for someone else to speak. If someone did, no one else ever heard it. Her notebook filled slowly with dates, times, and cryptic notes. Answered immediately. Delayed. Possible distraction. No response. Investigate. Then, on Thursday, the door didn't open. She knocked in her usual way and waited. The hallway was quiet, smelling of old carpet and lemon cleaner. After 10 minutes, she sighed, unlocked the door herself, and stepped inside. The apartment was exactly as she had left it that morning. The bed was made, the dishes were washed, the chair by the window was angled just so. She frowned and wrote a single word in her notebook. Unacceptable. She checked the bedroom closet, under the bed, behind the shower curtain, even inside the oven. Nothing. Finally, she stood in the middle of the living room and said calmly, "You're late." The air seemed to thicken, like the pause before thunder. A voice answered from behind her. "I know. I was watching." She didn't turn around. "From where?" The voice was gentle. "From you." She closed her eyes. This was new, and she disliked new things. "That doesn't make sense." "It does," the voice said. "You just don't like it." She opened her notebook, flipping back through the pages faster and faster until the writing blurred. "You've always answered. Even when you were quiet, you were here." "I was," said the voice, "but I'm not what you think." At last, she turned. The room was empty. "Show yourself!" she demanded. There was a long silence, and then her reflection moved in the darkened television screen. It stood up straighter than she did. It smiled first. "You knock," the reflection said, "because you're afraid one day I won't answer." Her hands trembled. "You're me." "Yes," said the reflection, "but I'm the part that stayed." The woman shook her head. "I've lived here for years." "No," the reflection said softly. "You visit." Images began to flicker in the black glass. Hospital lights, a white room, a bed she recognized but had never seen from this angle. Her angle. "You didn't like being still," the reflection continued. "So you learned how to leave. Just for a little while at first. Then longer." "That's impossible." "You wrote it all down," the reflection said, nodding to her notebook, "so you wouldn't forget which side of the door you were on." The woman backed away. "If you're the one who stayed, what am I?" The reflection's smile faded. "You're the knock." Her chest tightened. "Then let me in." For the first time, the reflection looked afraid. "If I do, you won't come back." The woman thought of the hallways, the stairwell, the freedom of movement, the small pleasure of keys in her hand. She thought of how carefully she'd been checking every single day, maybe even hoping for a delay. "Maybe that's okay," she said. The reflection studied her, then nodded slowly. It reached forward, and the television screen went dark. The next morning, the woman in apartment 3B sat one place at the table. She ate slowly, savoring the warmth of her coffee, the solid feel of the chair beneath her. When she finished, she opened a small notebook and wrote a single line. Answered. Later that day, in the hallway, someone knocked softly on the door. 3 taps, 2 harder ones. No one answered.